Bella's relationship with Chooks blossomed beautifully, transforming her life in ways she had never imagined. She found herself marveling at the depth of her feelings for him. Chooks had become everything to her strength, her pillar, her lover, her brother, and her teacher. His unwavering support and genuine affection created a load of happiness for her, which she cherished deeply. Chooks was always going above and beyond to make Bella smile, whether it's through small or grand gestures, romantic surprises, or shopping spree. His actions spoke volume about his love for her, and she felt incredibly lucky to have found a man like Chooks. He embodied the qualities she had always longed for in a partner, qualities that were deeply rooted in the example set by her parents' loving marriage. Growing up, Bella had admired her parents' relationship immensely. Her father's love for her mother was admirable. Bella had dreamt of finding a partner that would love her the way her father loved her mom, and in Chooks, she saw that dream coming true. He was the epitome of the man she had always prayed for, the exact opposite of her ex. George lacked the qualities that Bella admired in her father and found them in Chooks. He was patient where George had been irritable, attentive when George had been neglectful, and loving where George had been indifferent. Chooks was everything George was not and more. As Bella and Chooks' relationship deepened, they found themselves sharing dreams and planning a future together. They spoke of building a life filled with love, mutual respect, and shared aspirations. Chooks and Bella supported and encouraged themselves in all aspects of their lives. On a very cool evening, Chooks went into Bella's room and met her lost in thought. Bella began to pour out her appreciation on Chooks, telling him how she can't imagine life without him, and Chooks smiled, staring into her eyes, telling her he feels the same way and how she has brought so much joy and purpose into his life. He began, I want to spend the rest of my days making you as happy as you've made me. You are my jewel and my life. Life without you is meaningless, and I need you to know that our love is for better and for worse. I would always be there for you and stand by you all the time. Bella's heart melted as he assured her of his undying love. It was 3 months already spent in Nigeria. Chooks and Queen had immersed themselves in the culture and reconnecting with their roots. Mr. Charles, their father, had always envisioned his son completing his masters abroad and returning to Nigeria to take over the family's business. He believed that Chooks' expertise in computer-aided design would enhance their furniture designs, giving them a competitive edge in the labor market. The 3 months in Nigeria had been transformative for Chooks. His 2 month intensive course in advanced CAD techniques had equipped him with cutting-edge skills that he was made eager to apply. Additionally, his beautiful relationship with Bella had become one of his greatest achievements, enriching his life in unexpected and wonderful ways. After completing his 2 month course in advanced CAD in Nigeria, he joined his father in their family-owned furniture establishment, C&C Furniture, while Queen returned to the United States to complete her education, very determined to achieve her own dreams. Chooks found immense satisfaction in his work, blending traditional craftsmanship with modern technology to create innovative and aesthetically pleasing designs. His father's trust and confidence in him were evident, and Chooks was determined not to let him down. The impact of Chooks' contribution really made a difference. The business flourished, with new designs attracting a broader client and boosting sales. Their revenue skyrocketed, and Mr. Charles couldn't have been prouder. The combination of Chooks' modern techniques and the company's establishment reputation for quality resulted in a perfect collaboration that propelled the business to new heights. Bella, witnessing Chooks' dedication and success, made her love him the more. She was inspired by his commitment to his family and their shared heritage, as well as his passion for innovation. Their relationship continued to thrive, with Bella providing emotional support and encouragement that fueled Chooks' drive. A year into working for his father, Chooks had become an indispensable part of the establishment. He introduced new CAD software that streamlined their design process, reduced production costs, and minimized errors. The business expanded, opening new showrooms and attracting international clients. Chooks' effort did not just go unnoticed in the industry. He began receiving invitations to speak at design conferences, workshops, and sharing knowledge and his experiences. His parents and girlfriend were super proud of him, and Mr. Charles reflected on their past years and felt a profound sense of satisfaction. His dreams of passing the business onto his son was being realized in ways he could never have imagined. He saw his son as a leader who not only understood the intricacies of the craft but also possessed the vision to take it to the next level. On a working day, Chuck decided to go pay his love a visit to see how things were going in the restaurant. They spoke on how to make the business boom faster than it's doing and drive traffic. He admired how she was so intentional about the business and how it mattered a lot to her. With the steadfast support of her boyfriend, they worked on how to expand the business, introducing innovative strategies that would drive traffic to the restaurant. Mr. Charles and his wife admired their son's relationship with Bella. They saw Bella as a strong and capable woman who complemented Chooks perfectly. They were eagerly awaiting the next step in their relationship, especially since Chooks was already excelling in his professional life and demonstrating maturity in every aspect. One fateful evening, Chuck decided it was time to discuss his new plans with his parents. He walked into their room and greeted his parents. Mr. Charles and his wife were excited, sensing that their son had something important to share. Before he could even begin, his mother started praising him for being a responsible man and for taking the bold step to make things official with Bella. Chuck smiled, appreciating his mother's enthusiasm, but he had to clarify them. Mom, Dad, I do have plans for Bella and myself, but that's not why I am here. He took a deep breath and said, I have been considering moving out of the house to my own place. His mom immediately interrupted, disagreeing with his decision. No, Chooks, I am not allowing that. This is your home and we are all family. Why do you want to leave the house? Chooks immediately answered, Mom, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm a grown man and I'll soon start my family. It is very important for me to learn to live independently to create my own space. For a moment, his father was silent, recognizing the importance of Chuck's desire for independence. He turned to his wife and told her, he's right dear, it's a natural step for him to take. But his mom wasn't still convinced. I can't bear the thought of you being away from us when we're finally all in the same country. And if you're planning to live with Bella before you are married, I can't allow that. Chus assured his mom that he had no plans of taking Bella with him, that he and Bella had already talked about it. Mr. Charles and Chucks could feel the hurt in her voice, and Mr. Charles spoke to his wife, helping her understand his son's perspective. My dear wife, he's doing what every young man should do. He's preparing himself for the future, for his own family. We have to support him. After much contemplation, Chuck's mother tried to accept it, and Chuck's promised that he won't be far away from her at all and that he would often visit. Although she was happy for her son's progress, but she was saddened that he would leave the house. Months passed, and Chuck settled into his beautiful apartment with the interiors to Bella's taste. The place felt like a blend of both their personalities, with touches of Bella's charms and Chuck's practicality. Bella often spends the weekend with him, filling the apartment with laughter and warmth. It's been a whole 3 years since George had left Nigeria. Chucks and George got to know each other in the States. George is one friend Chucks liked to roll with. When George arrived in Nigeria and checked into one of Lagos' most luxurious hotel, the Colossus Lagos in Ikeja, it was a moment of great excitement. As soon as Chucks heard the news, he hurried to the hotel to pay his old friend a visit. When Chucks arrived at the hotel, they were laughing and shouting their names, Big G and Chuckles like they fondly call themselves. They were both excited to see each other and they spent hours catching up, reminiscing about when they used to be together in the States, discussing their career, life, relationship, and achievements. George was impressed at the milestones Chucks had attained, and George was doing so well for himself. They talked about the women in their lives, and he was surprised to hear that Chucks has a girlfriend. Chucks had always been the kind of guy that really did not like being in a relationship. He doesn't like any relationship saga, so he refused having a girlfriend. So on hearing that he has a girlfriend, George teased him saying, I can't believe you finally have a girlfriend, Chucks. I thought you've swore off relationship in your life. Chucks smiled saying, I know right, but she's different. She's everything I've ever wanted and more. George was so curious and asked who the lucky lady was. The lady who was able to steal his friend's heart. But Chuck smiled and told him that he won't be disclosing anything to him, that he has to come and meet her in person. So he invited him to his house. The next day, George arrived at Chuck's apartment. He was marveled by the beautiful interiors. This place looks amazing, Chucks. What of our wife? Bella had already prepared a lovely dinner to welcome his friend. She couldn't wait to see the almighty Big G he keeps on talking about. Chooks called out for Bella, and when she got downstairs, both Bella and George were shocked on seeing each other. They stared at each other and were dumbfounded for a second. "Bella!" George called. "Don't ever say my name," she replied with anger in her heart and ran upstairs. Chuck, seeing the pains in her eyes and George staring in shock, immediately went upstairs to know why his girlfriend reacted the way she did. "Bella, what's wrong? How do you know George?" he asked eagerly, but Bella didn't utter a single word. The mere presence of George had brought back the painful memories she had long tried to bury. Her silence only made Chooks more anxious. Desperate to understand, he rushed downstairs to confront George, but George was already gone, leaving Chooks confused and worried. He returned to the room and saw Bella's eyes swollen with cry. He sat beside her, held her hands, and asked what the problem was. After a bit of silence, Bella finally began to speak with a sad tone. She told Chooks everything about her past relationship with George. She recounted how George had abandoned her when she needed him the most, right after she lost her parents, and breaking up with her during such a vulnerable time left deep scars in her heart, and mere looking at him opened old wounds. Chooks listened, his anger growing with each word. He couldn't believe that his own best friend had been so heartless to a woman he loved. The betrayal cut deep, and Chooks felt a burning desire for revenge. He was determined to make George feel the pain that Bella had endured. The following days weren't good at all. Bella was deeply affected by the encounter. She was offering down, the emotional turmoil leaving her drained. Chooks did everything within his power to make her feel better, but her PTSD made recovery difficult. One fateful day, her condition worsened, and Chooks immediately called for a doctor to come over to the house. His parents, Mr. and Mrs. Charles, rushed over to the house as soon as they heard the news. Mrs. Charles was furious when she learned what triggered Bella's condition. Chooks could no longer bear the pain in his heart, seeing his girlfriend really affected by his sight. He left Bella in the care of his parents, went to the hotel where George lodged, only to find out that George had already checked out of the hotel. He became more furious. He dialed his number, but it was off. He then went back to his apartment, and by that time, Bella was already asleep. After some days, Bella's condition became better. The presence of Charles' parents equally helped. However, the emotional scar would take a long time to heal, the doctor said, assuring that she would heal with time and therapy. Chooks, being so kind and caring, sat by her side, holding her hands, assuring her that they would pull through this together. Chooks immediately registered her for a therapy session with a reputable therapist. Bella attended the session diligently for months. She started noticing changes in herself. She began to let go of her past, developing the strength to forgive and clear the guilt she had harbored against George. Everyone around her noticed the positive transformation. Bella's progress brought immense joy to Chooks, his parents, and even Queen. As Bella continued to heal, she reached a point where she felt ready to forgive George. She sent him a text, simply stating that she had already forgiven him. Not long after that, George replied with a sincere apology, promised to change his ways and expressing regrets for his past actions. This exchange allowed Bella to fully let go of the past. When she had fully recovered and went back to her usual cheerful self, Chooks felt the time was right to take the next step in their relationship. On one beautiful evening, he knelt down and asked Bella, "Will you marry me?" With joy in her heart, she answered, "Yes, I would marry you, Chooks." They embraced themselves, their hearts full of happiness. Bella poured out her gratitude, thanking Chooks for being the best boyfriend she could ever ask for. And Chooks said, "Thank you for choosing me, Bella. Amongst all the men in the world, you picked me. I am the luckiest man to have you as my better half." With excitement, they both shared the good news to their family. Everyone was so happy. And after 2 months, Chooks and Bella got married, and together they lived their lives happily, building a future filled with love, laughter, and endless possibilities. Thank you so very much, guys, for watching. Hope you enjoyed the story. Please do also like this video, share the video, and subscribe to Substance TV for more entertainment. See you all in my next video. Until then, stay splendid.